Hi everyone, I'm going to take you through an obliques focused workout with the Pilates ring. So grab your ring and join me. Start rolling down to your back. You're going to take that circle, reach it to the right side of your bent knee, extending your left leg long. Inhale at the top, reaching that circle up, and then exhale to that left side. This is my version of crisscross. You're crunching to your bent knee. Can you reach that circle on the outside edge of your thigh, reaching towards the ground? See if you can keep your chest up every time you hit center. You have a little apple under your chin. You're doing 8 on each side, 16 total. Keep your hips still. Pelvis grounded. Lift to the bottom tip of those shoulder blades and reach through those arms, simultaneously reaching through that extended straight leg. From there, place that circle on the outside of that right leg on the floor. Left hand goes behind your head to support your neck. Pulse into that ring. See if you can hover that left foot above the ground. You can pulse your knee in slightly too. Go 8 total. You're gonna roll up. We're gonna get that other side in just a second. Trust me, we'll be even, I promise. Take that circle in between your ankles and then come down, rolling back just enough to be onto your elbows. Your hands are close to your hips. You're gonna go for a hip circle here. Give me 8 in one direction. I'm going away from my door so I don't hit it. It's kind of, I strategically planned this class so I wouldn't run into the door, but I promise we'll get to the other side. So you're just gonna go for one direction right now. Keeping your middle still, try to keep your low back still the lower you take those feet towards the ground. From here, you're gonna take your knees into tabletop. Move them to the right. Give me a squeeze on that circle. Come back to center. Your legs are parallel and above your hips. And then you're going to bend your knees again. So you're going over, rising your legs. Can you squeeze that circle at every juncture? It's kind of a little pulse. So you're pulsing here, pulsing here, pulsing here, pulsing here. So 4 little pulses for one movement. Keep your left shoulder grounded, or the shoulder that you're rolling away from. Your hips might shift a little bit, so you're rolling more weight onto that right side if you're going to the right, but try to keep the small of your back still. You're pulling back with your opposite oblique, so in this case my left oblique is engaged to reach my knees back. You're going to transition to a seated position, so maybe roll up to get there. Come to a staggered stance with your legs. You're sitting on one hip, bringing that magic circle to the side. As you push into that circle, you're going to hinge at your elbow, pushing your palm down, and then kick your top leg out. So you need to free yourself up enough where that top leg can be free to kick out at a 45-degree angle as you're pushing into that circle, palm down, firing your bicep. You might even feel your tricep here. Hand can come behind your head. Turn to face that circle. Straight arm. One hand is going to rest on the ground. Push that straight arm down into the circle, firing your lat. So think armpit muscle here. And then you're gonna lift that staggered knee behind you. You're combining these movements. Can you feel your core, the side body, engaged to lift that knee and to push down? So this is very specific to your obliques. You're gonna feel that top oblique fire here. Move to your side. You're going to stagger and kneel. So that top hand has got the circle in front of you, right about your aim at your chest level here. As you push down, you're going to kick that top leg up. To relax the back of your neck, maybe look down at your supporting hands. Your hips are a little staggered here. Really drive your abs in and try to lift your bottom side body away from the ground. Then you're going to come all the way up, kick up as you bend and push, and then you're going to kneel 45 degrees, planting your foot, and reach that circle forward. This is a quick, controlled movement. See if you can try to control the lean over and the rise up as you plant your foot. The quicker you go, the more you have to really control this with your abs. Go 2 more. And then taking that circle on the outside of that planted knee, hand comes behind your head. Try to side bend over, lifting up and over with your side body, pushing into that circle with your palm. Keeping those hips squared to the front of your room. Can you imagine you're lengthening and lifting over something? And then turn towards that circle, elbow placing it, holding it still on your knee. Can you reach that opposite arm behind you? So you're stretching back, looking over that shoulder and pulsing down, down. But think of this pulsing as coming from your core like a side crunch. That's what's moving that circle. You're going to go for 20 total. Looking at myself, if I could change one thing, it would be my hands. I don't know why it's bent like that. And then we're gonna try the other side, guys. Nicely done. So start with those crisscrosses. You can keep your knees bent, or you can alternatively straighten those legs. So making it a little bit more challenging here, pointing through those toes, reaching on the outer edge of that straight leg. Can you stay lifted to the bottom tip of those shoulder blades? Shoulders are melting. You've got a little apple under your chin. Hips are planted. Low back is planted. We're going to go for those pulses on the other side now. So hand stays behind your head. You're pulsing down with that crunch up. How much length can you have in your toes? Can you get those shoulder blades lifting every time you pulse down? Roll on up. Circle goes in between your thighs. Find yourself on your elbows. You're going to go for those hip circles, other direction. Let's say this was a little too challenging for you. You could bend your knees and circle your bent knees, so making the lever shorter. Alternatively, you could make these into toe taps, just tapping your toes down and lifting. But those circles are going to get your side body what we're working here. From there, come to a seated position. We're going back to those tabletop stretches. You're bending your knees, taking that circle over, straightening those legs, coming back to center, pulsing that circle every juncture. So you have 4 pulses with every 4 movements of a set. Can you keep your opposite shoulder planted, the one that you're rolling away from? Keep your low back still. Fire your opposite oblique to pull those legs back to center. Time it with your breath. Exhale, legs come back to the middle. Now we'll roll up to a seated position. Staggering your legs to the other side. Take that circle on the other side of you. Hand hand goes behind your head for support. You're pushing in, thinking of side bending to do that push, bending that elbow. It's like a lever, pushing down from your bicep, tricep as you kick out 45 degrees with that top leg. Keep lifting and lengthening through your side body here. The action is coming from those obliques. And then turning your chest towards that circle, opposite hand with a lengthened arm pushes down, and then try to pick that bent knee, 45-degree angle, the leg that's behind you straight up, lifting from your waistline. So feeling that side body connect as you lift your knee. It doesn't have to be very high here. You're gonna feel it, I promise. That supporting arm, see if you can keep that shoulder relaxed away from your ear. Softness in your elbow so it's not locked. And then from here, you're gonna come all the way up to kneeling. That magic circle comes right in front of you. As you push down with the straight arm, you're gonna lift that top leg. Lift with your obliques. Maybe look down at your supporting arm to keep the back of your neck relaxed. Continually pull that bottom waistline up so it's not drooping towards the floor. And then we're going for those lean overs. And then planting that foot, kneeling as you reach that circle forward. I feel like maybe I didn't know where I was going right then. I gotcha. I didn't forget. Try to make these fluid. So as you lean over, you're simultaneously kicking that leg up. Really lunge into that supporting leg. Feel that hip stretch. Reach that circle. We're going to go for those side bends here. Kneeling, you're leaning towards that bent knee. Palm pushing into that circle. Can you lengthen? Lengthen your spine, lift, and then bend over. So you're staying very long through your side body. And then from here, we're gonna go right into those little pulses. So opposite arm, elbow supports that circle right on top of your knee. Reach your opposite arm behind you, look over that shoulder, get a big stretch back with that arm as you're pulsing down, down. Make this action come from contracting your abs like you're doing a little crunch. If you're counting, you're going for 20 little pulses. And then from here, I've got one final oblique exercise for you. It's your grand finale. Circle is gonna go in between those inner thighs. Resting on one hip, you're gonna reach up, grab, pointing those toes and reaching for your ankle. Not really grabbing your ankle, but tapping your ankle. And then coming back to bent knees and almost coming elongated onto your hips as your knees dip towards the ground. You're finding length to that bottom waistline. Can you squeeze that circle at the top so your upper inner thighs are engaged? Make sure that circle is slightly above your knees. And then get the other side for me. So turning onto your other side, circle, set up your circle same way, slightly above your knees. You're on one hip. You're gonna lengthen both legs, pointing through your toes. Reach for your ankle, your top ankle. Find length your arm as you bend those knees back. Can you find length through your bottom side body? Squeeze that circle at the top, engaging those inner thighs. Might have to adjust your circle if you feel like it's sliding. I think mine was giving me a little bit of a challenge trying to keep it in place. Don't forget to add that squeeze so you get those inner thighs and low abs connected. And then go one more roll up for me as you roll back. Arms reach back, inhale those arms up, chin to your chest, roll forward. Maybe hook that circle over your toes, over the ball of your foot, grabbing up the sides of your circle, finding a nice rounded back so you're getting a good stretch. You could reach that circle to the side, reaching your opposite arm back, pulsing a couple times, getting a good side body stretch. Maybe reach forward one more time. Thanks for joining.